today's video, I'm gonna walk you through how I landed a $100,000 job as a new immigrant in Canada. I was just 3 months in Canada then. It was with an oil company, and I'm gonna give you tools and tips on how you can do the same. If you're looking for a job in Canada, this is the channel you should certainly subscribe to, and QuestJobs.online is the portal you should visit. We are now we're driving to one of the fuel stations of this oil company, and from there I will tell you the story on how I landed the job. So this is the first company that I worked for when I landed in New Brunswick. Guys, by the way, when I landed in New Brunswick, I was already a permanent resident. I was PR landed. I was nominated by the government of New Brunswick during the time. That PR pathway is already closed. Actually, it closed 2 years after I landed in the province. Irving Oil is a separate company as compared to other JD Irving or Irving company. If you will look right there, that is a JD Irving company. It is a separate company from this company, and they have got different jurisdictions, they have got different fundamentals, management, etc, etc, etc. So when I left Dubai for Canada back in 2018, months before I left the country, the UAE, I was already preparing myself for job, for housing, and everything else in between. A month before I left, I already saw the job posting of Irving Oil, wherein they were looking for an account representative for international markets. And the moment I saw and I read that job description, I knew in my heart and in my mind that I was a perfect fit for the job. So immediately, even if I was still in Dubai during the time, I immediately applied for the job. By the way, guys, if you are a work permit holder, an international student, an international applicant, or a foreign worker inside Canada, I urge you to please visit QuestJobs.online. This portal is not another LinkedIn, it's not another Indeed. This portal is designed with you in the background, in our minds, thinking, how do we best help you search and land a job in Canada that is able to sponsor you. In QuestJobs.online, we have categorized each and every job as per the possible PR pathways and the eligible applicants. I landed in New Brunswick in the month of April 2018. In the month of May 2018, I received an email from Irving Oil asking me to have an interview with the sales director of the company. The meeting with the sales director was at Tim Hortons. This was in Riverview, by the way. The meeting or the interview lasted for 45 minutes, and the entire interview revolved around my experience about international markets. When I was in Dubai, I was a branch manager for a German multinational company, and before that I was a sales and marketing manager, junior sales and marketing manager for another German company. And in both these companies, I was managing the Middle East countries, which are Qatar, UAE, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and I also managed Egypt, Pakistan as well, and Iran. Those were patriarchal kinds of nations. And when I mentioned that to the sales director, I was keen on making him understand that to venture or to even penetrate the sales industry in the Middle East as a woman in itself is really, for me, already an achievement, because the Middle East is, as we all know, is a masculine nation. They have more preference to men in general in sales. But in my case, I was able to penetrate that industry, and I also was able to make him truly understand that I had the personality of independence and risk-taking. Guys, I made it a point that he knew that I left the Philippines as soon as I finished my university. I went to Dubai. I didn't have anything. I didn't have friends. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a house. I didn't have anything when I went to Dubai. And I left Dubai after a decade, and I started a life in Canada pretty much the same. The only difference was I had money when I came to Canada, but really I didn't have friends, I didn't have a job, I didn't have a house, I was starting from zero. So I made him realize that independence is a key a factor in my personality. And guys, when it comes to sales and in any kind of job, really, independence and initiative is something that you have to focus on. The interview lasted for 45 minutes, and after 45 minutes, Grant told me, the sales director, that the sales manager, his subordinate, will contact me to do an interview. And when Grant said that, I knew in my heart and in my mind that I had the job. And after 3 weeks, Marcel, the sales manager, gave me a call and told me that he wanted to have an interview with me. I knew at that moment that I already had a job at Irving Oil. The majority of our discussions really evolved around negotiation on salary and responsibilities within my job. So the role was an account representative for international markets. So that was foreign markets. I was responsible for Asia, Europe, and Africa. It was a huge, it's almost the entire world. I was not only responsible for Latin America and North America, but everything else I had to handle myself. The initial offer of the company of Irving Oil to me was $60,000 per year. And I tried to negotiate it to at least $70,000, but Marcel said that no, it is a firm condition. $60,000 is their actual offer, no matter who the person is. And I said, okay, to myself, if they are not open to negotiate the basic salary, at least I can negotiate other factors of the offer. And one of the offers that I negotiated was the internet and the commission, together with the vehicle allowance. The company did not pay for internet. It was not part of their initial offer, but I negotiated that they make it a part, and they agreed. They also agreed to pay allowance on my vehicle. See guys, my job was international markets. I did not have to drive around New Brunswick to talk to customers, and therefore technically I didn't have to have allowance for car, but they agreed and negotiated with me to give me allowance for car. And for car allowance, I was on average being paid between $1,000 and $1,200 per month. They also paid for my mobile, and they provided my laptop as well. One major factor that I truly negotiated about with their offer is that my responsibility to drive to St. John. I live in Moncton. St. John is 2 hours away by drive. And what Marcel and Irving Oil wanted me to do was to drive to St. John office every day from Monday to Friday. And that's 2 hours going and coming back another 2 hours to do my job. And I told Marcel I couldn't possibly do that, and I also did not want to move to St. John. I just arrived in Moncton. I was trying to establish myself in Moncton during the time, and I was already looking for houses in Moncton during the time. And I told him that if I will be forced, if Irving Oil is not open to negotiate the idea of me being in the office on a daily basis, then it is a deal breaker. And when I said that it is a deal breaker, I was skeptical, I was scared, I was fearful, because being a deal breaker, then the company could just say, okay, we don't want to come to the office, go on and look for another job, and good luck to you. That was also a possibility, of course. I was not truly unique in the industry, but then I was firm on the idea that there's no way I could drive 4 hours a day or move to St. John. And yeah, we left the discussion at that. That discussion lasted for about an hour, and Marcel told me, I will come back to you, give me a few weeks, and let's see what will the management say. So then, after 2 weeks, Marcel came back to me, gave me a call, discussed to me the offer, and he agreed to the idea of driving to St. John only 2 times in a week. And I was over the moon. I accepted the offer right there and then, And after 3 weeks, I started doing the job. July 2018 was when I started doing my job at Irving Oil. And within the first year of my employment with Irving Oil, I traveled across different regions. I traveled to West Africa, I traveled to North Africa, I went to Europe, I went to the US. It was for various reasons, for sales training, for sales meetings, for exhibitions. And back in May 2020, I was scheduled to travel to China, Vietnam, and Thailand. But then, as we all know, COVID hit in 2020 and everything was shut down. What happened then? The company Irving Oil laid off half of its people, and I was one of them back in 2020. But really, the idea of this video is the tools and tips that I can share with you for you to land a job, a $100,000 job, even if it's not $100,000 job, even if it's a $60,000 job, as long as you land a job as a new immigrant in Canada. In my case, what I focused on was my independence and my nature of risk-taking, the idea of initiating things for yourself. I told with my first interview with Grant at Riverview Tim Hortons that I didn't have any job opportunities in the Philippines. If I had stayed in the Philippines, there was nothing for me there. I had to create opportunities for myself, and I knew in my heart that I had to leave the country. When I left the Philippines, I didn't have anything. But that did not stop me from proving and making my goals happen. And these are the things that you also have to have your interviewer understand. All the immigrants anywhere in the world, may it be in Middle East, in Asia, in North America, in Europe, everybody has got the same nature. Everybody is independent and everybody is a risk taker. So tell the interviewer that those are nature of yourself. And when it comes to a job, you can certainly apply and align those kinds of characteristics for you to make a great job when they employ you.